ridiculous. I have a wicked echo, by the way. I
You
think
do? I
I think
clicked
that's
echo cancellation. Don't echo.
that could be what's causing the echo. But it's I'm pretty sure it's your mic picking up me talking.
Is it? It's horrible. What do I have to do?
These okay. I do not know. Do you have headphones on?
No? Do I need it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do it.
Because otherwise your mic is gonna pick up me talking.
Oh, got you. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna. This is all tech stuff. Oh God, don't you love it? Don't you love tech stuff? I got married for tech help.
That's probably a good deal.
I know. How's that? Is that better? That sounds better.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I still hear it.
What? All right, here I'm gonna go settings.
Is my voice coming out of your computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, here we go.
Because your mic is picking up my voice.
There we go. How's that?
Check.
Check. Check. Check. Check. Check.
Check.
Fucking
Okay, that's good.
checks. Checkers.
So the damn Instagram isn't working.
Woo! Water will never be the same since I met you. So I put water and I put my salt and my magnesium and my trace minerals. You know that lady who does the water, cold coffee? You know the blonde girl? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
She does these TikToks and she'll just like, papaya. I kind of want to be like, water, trace minerals. She just does everything all really, really
Hey,
sexy.
look, it's way better
Celtic
than
salt.
that lady that just jiggles and speaks nonsense. So
What lady's that?
I don't know. There's somebody was going somewhat viral just because she would like jiggle and say things. I don't even know what the hell.
I can belly dance.
See, that's a skill. Belly dancing is a skill.
I can belly dance.
There was a nightclub in Nashville that was hot in the O's back when Nashville was really cool. And they always had belly dancers there. It was called Layla Rule.
Nice.
Justin Timberlake would be there sometimes.
So speaking of cool Nashville, we're doing a retreat.
Oh, yeah. I just heard about this like a moment ago.
I've
You
just,
tell me.
I've been trying to do it since I went there the very first time, and now we're doing it. August
We're
9,
doing
10,
it.
11.
Mhm.
9, 10, 11.
We're going to bike around. If anybody has any health questions, I'll answer them.
But not on the bike. And then
Not
I'm
on the
staying
bike.
in the Airbnb. So I got the Airbnb. My bed is already taken. It's already grabbed. Somebody gets to sleep with me. She already grabbed the spot. Because we're gonna pile in, like I think
Okay.
we could pile in there and then take the trailer and just pile in.
Certainly 4 people can pile in easily in the Airbnb.
4 is super easy. You could do
Yeah.
6 and have a party.
5, probably 6. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I had 6 bikers one time stay in my camper. So, it's
Hey,
possible-
wrestling
If it's possible to have 6 bikers, 6 large bikers in the camper.
in that camper. Oh my god! Well, all you need to do is sleep. So I figure we will do loot experiences,
Okay.
regenerate experiences, and then I want this is my retreat request are the nighttime rides.
Yeah,
I
the night
love it.
rides-
I
the
love
night
the
rides
night
are among my
rides.
favorite. And I used to have a night ride on my website, and it was just so rarely booked that I pulled it off. So
What's going on in there?
that is the dryer.
Oh, you just said something. I'm so
Studio.
excited. The
Full
night rides,
pod studio, but it'll stop here.
and then when you
Remember,
go.
washing machine.
When you say that you've got your favorite spots on your ride, so hey wrestling, I don't know you, those of you who don't know, Sean has Music City e-bikes in Nashville. It's so fun. Let's roll.
I'm all Music City e-biked out
Yeah,
tonight
and it
because
is
I've been working on
the
bikes all
best.
day.
It's the best trip around Nashville. You really need to do that first when you first come to Nashville so that you see Nashville, and then you see what the cool spots are. So here's my request: there are so many cool spots that you talk
Yeah.
about on your ride that I want to go to them. that like your favorites. Like let's like just restructure it since we have everybody and we can do what we want. Like we do like the ride, but then I would like to go to Martin's barbecue with you and take everybody, you know, and then go to some kind of something in that Printer's Alley.
Yeah, maybe Bourbon Street. That's
You do something
or
like
Alley Taps is great too.
so we'll have some kind of intern or something like security dude who come with us and like so we can get off our bikes and you know somebody who's not going to be playing with us that's just like you know monitor bikes dude and so we can stop
Like locks too.
and stop like and go like do something. I'm looking at see which concert that's coming, you know, so we can add that in. So I'm just planning it, but it's basically going to be 3 days of healthy fun. No alcohol. It's going to be regenerating, loot, like so let's like you know, we're talking the talk and walking the walk.
Yeah, yeah, it's in August.
I see you're so excited about it.
Well,
I mean, just don't get excited or anything.
I mean, you know, I have.
You're like, I can't move my face. Hey, it's your girl Audrey. Hey. You're excited about it. And maybe we could do a podcast or something, like get in your space that's so beautiful. Like we have like Mike Ricks over, let's play some music. Like let's make a thing.
Yeah, the pod studio, you know, it easily houses 4 folks. Oh, I posted this thing on my Instagram recently, and it was a woman crying on an Indian talk show.
Oh no.
And then the DJ used her crying to drop the beat.
Oh no.
It was hilarious. It was so good.
That's terrible.
And then the host of the show is, oh, no.
Do not make fun. Hey.
That
So
makes me laugh.
you
About the
and-
lady crying with the DJ.
oh my God, that reminds me. Have you seen Backing Up? My daddy taught me good. You've never seen that one? Oh my God, it's the lady who was interviewed at there was a robbery at a little convenience store. And
Okay.
she's telling the cop, she's like, there was a guy with a white hoodie and one with the black hoodie. And I just did what my daddy taught me good. I just went, backing up. So she hid in the convenience store. But they have done so many retakes with her. Like, backing up. My daddy taught me good. There's a white hoodie, black hoodie. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth to look at. So what's the latest in truth, mister? And anybody who's in chat, ask away. Anything typical, usually with health with this guy. I don't call a doctor anymore. I call this guy. But you're looking at your phone. What are you looking at? You got rides
sending a
booked.
message that I had many leather-bound books as a joke to someone. It was important. I needed to
It was so important.
I needed to go on now. Yeah, I couldn't.
You just couldn't
I have
wait.
many leather-bound books. I don't know. No, yeah. So the health stuff. Somebody was. I was at my car lot today. I had to go to the car lot.
Oh, by the way, he owns a car dealership too, y'all.
Yeah, and he was like, I just fell down and hit my head on the stairs, and I can't feel my feet, and the whole lower half of my body always feels wet."
What? What?
Yeah. Well, anyway, and he was like, "What do I do?" And then I started to talk to the guy and give him some advice, and I was like, "This guy isn't comprehending anything that I'm telling him. He just wants one thing to fix all
Pill?
of that."
Just one
and I'm
pill?
like, there is no one thing that's going to fix that. But it is interesting when your nerves do come back online after they've been off. It can feel like you're wet, like you
What
feel like
the
your
hell?
arm is wet or your foot is wet.
What about the
But,
people that feel like they don't have an arm? Have you ever seen that? People who have like they feel like they don't have an arm, and so they cut it off.
Do they identify as
They
armless?
they identify as armless, so they cut their
Okay.
arm off. So they
What
cut their
do
arm
you
off,
get-
Sean.
What do you get for that? If you don't
You're
know?
armless now.
like, right, like in the hierarchy of preferred groups where you have more power, like, black lesbian is up there because but if you're armless, does that beat a black lesbian or?
Maybe, maybe.
Okay, you have
You know what?
have
Speaking
some
of
hard
that,
decisions to make.
speaking of that, so I'm writing my comedy show and like to
Yeah.
do my tent revival comedy show, and that's not funny. It's not funny at all. Um, and I did have a conversation with my dear. I love her to death, but it's like the protocol for the cities is like, well, we'll have to see like exactly what you're going to say to make sure that it falls within the diversity clauses, and you are white, so you're probably not going to be able to do it. And I'm
Wait,
like, I'm
who's
not even
white?
going to bother. I'm not even going to bother.
Who's
I'm like,
white?
don't even. Who's white?
Yeah.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah, me.
Oh, okay.
I had my astrology, not astrology, my ancestry.com done,
Yeah.
I'm the whitest white that ever whited, really. I mean, it's all Irish, German, French, English,
Well,
and they
no.
all came to North Carolina. So if I ever wanted to procreate again, I do not date in North Carolina because it's both of my father and mother, both
Mhm.
whitest white, all. And you see the little map, they all went this North Carolina. So I'm like, well, that's all my cousins.
Well, in the hierarchy, you are still a woman, so you're not. Even though you're super white, you still
So lower.
know you're above any
How?
man, at least in the hierarchy
Above a man?
of protected class.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like white dudes, you're in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, white
Sorry,
male.
buddy.
You're just nobody.
Sorry,
wants.
buddy. I bought a new gun. I told you, right?
Yeah, you showed it off last time.
Hey, speaking of, it's totally random, not related. Your regenerate that gets GABA in your brain that gets people
Yeah.
off of anxiety. That is honestly why, like, I give you credit for like being so, getting my shit together. And also this class that I keep telling you about is like so amazing. And so like the combo of that, I feel really good. And I have found an answer. Fever tree. Fe-
Oh yeah, yeah. Would you
fe-
text that to me because I want
I
to
will. If you,
try
all
that.
of them, every single one
And
of them.
then
Fever tree. They have sparkling Sicilian lemonade. They have ginger beer. They have gold blood orange ginger beer. Any single one, because I've tried all of them. Any fever tree, I put it in here. Pour the whole thing in there, and I put 2 scoops, so 2 teaspoons of Regenerate, and it fluffs up like a beer,
mhm.
and it tastes like the funky beers that I love. And it's got the bite too. So and then you can honestly pick any fever tree. So I'm telling you, like, you and fever tree need to get married and, and have little babies. Like, and have and like we need to do a regenerate party or something because it really does work. And then you sip it. Like
Yeah,
I sip it for like a long, and then you keep the heat.
yeah,
It's like this consistent, like, and then I have this in my car. Like I'll have it, and I'll be like, "Ooh, I need a little."
yeah. It's
And it's got, woo, that one's ginger beer. So, and it gives like a little grit, and it takes away the supplementy taste of Regenerate. And
yeah.
it,
Regenerate is a little bit earthy because of the astragalus and ashwagandha and rhodiola, which are both what people would say is earthy.
it's
But I
so
actually think
earthy.
it tastes. I don't mind the taste.
You can get used to it, kind of like you get used to
Beer, like beer
beer.
doesn't taste. Well,
No,
like,
black seed oil. Black
yeah,
seed oil
well,
is nasty, but
I
then now I
shower.
like it.
Oh yeah, I shower in that shit.
You what? You just
Shower in
shoot.
that shit.
Mhm.
Black seed oil is so good.
That was my
It's
final.
that black seed oil like solves so many things. Everyone should be on black seed
That
oil.
thing, black seed oil is no joke. You're not joking. You really
There's a
are.
reason why it was in King Tut's tomb.
Really? So I've come up with this like little survival bag that I have that I've got this trusty little thing, whenever you're around humans.
Oh, ivermectin.
I've got that. And I've got black seed oil and Regenerate, and now I've found the answer to my funky beers. There's still a couple of them that I'm like, I can't resist. I'm sorry to tell you. The ones that are like chocolate, peanut butter, marshmallow fluff beer. I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm tasting it. I
That
am.
doesn't blow my hair back, but that's you know.
I just love them. So I'm like, I'm coming up with ways to do the good stuff with that, so I found this, there's a whole bunch of beers, like Hyper Swirl beer. There's like all the sour beers, the IPAs that take it funky.
Hmm.
These totally do it. I'm telling you,
Okay.
that is the answer.
Every
So
little thing
when
I
I'm
do gonna
when I'm
be
sitting
fun.
around, I'm like, I want a beer. I'm gonna put Regenerate in this little thing. So I've been testing them. Also, there's these things too. Oh, here, hold on. Shit the hell. Hold on.
You're hooked up.
Don't go so fast. This guy.
Slow down.
Have you ever seen this company? Perfy?
Mm-mm.
Ever seen Perfy?
Maybe.
This is another one. It's a soda, but it's
They're like
got like
40
so
calories, right? Low
it's
sugar.
so many great things in here. I don't think it has sugar at all. It's all like it's blueberry juice, blackberry, sea salt, monk fruit, L-theanine, and ashwagandha.
Yeah, I've had those before. Yeah,
They're
I'm so happy that
it's
other
it's
companies
happening.
are putting in the L-theanine and the
Yeah,
ashwagandha because everybody's over caffeinated in America.
it's
I mean, it's
amazing.
like I caffeine is not a benign drug. It's like very potent.
Terrible.
And it's just funny that
I still
it's
do
just
it.
become such a like everyone does it. So
Everybody does it. Can I have a shout out? Hey, Aaron!
whoever.
Aaron Huggins. Aaron Huggins? Hello, darling. How are you? He's looking at his phone. Now, what else are you going to talk about with Truth today? What's up?
What's new in truth?
Oh,
What's new
David.
in
Hold
truth?
on. David's going to bring up the sacred beers. It's also worth noting that old world style beers were used to contain a lot of medicinal herbs. True.
Yeah. Well, one of the
Healing
things
beers.
that they
Let's
did,
let's have it.
one of the things they did was, if they ever needed to calm down the population, the king would decree that brewers add more hops because hops is a mellowing agent.
Oh, right.
So if
Calm the
people are
people
getting
down.
too feisty, he
You're
would
getting
just
too feisty.
yeah they
We
would
get you
just
some loot.
decree they would decree that all breweries add more hops. Hops is in the family of hemp, and it's kind of like a CBD-like effect. It mellows you out. So there's actually a company in Nashville that makes hop water, where it's just rather than CBD, it's just like hops.
Huh. Yeah.
That'll mellow. And then plus, I think so many people just too many video games, not enough physical activity. So the body is like, we need physical activity. Let's go. So everybody, is a little bit hopped up.
Speaking of, I have to tell you an awesome story now that I see David's face or
Okay.
name because oh my God. Speaking of getting into your body, I've been walking in the sun twice a day. If I can't, definitely once a day, but twice a day I've been doing it and I've been getting my mom to do it.
Yeah.
And I go on lives Wednesday and Thursdays. Duh. Hey. And she's been doing it and I'm seeing what are you doing? Are you reading?
I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Yeah, walking with the mom.
And I feel like I'm at dinner and you're like on your phone. I'm like, God, like you just, what is this, speed dating? Um,
I'm done.
and I'm like, so I'm walking with my mom in the sun and we're talking about the happy good stuff that are happening. And there's some really big things happening in my life right now. Like my product just went off today. And that's like some huge things and some sponsorships. And like, it's like I'm going to the next level. And my whole life, my mother will sabotage it. She'll do something to
Mhm.
sabotage it. It'll be something. And like she in the past. So she'll like, all of a sudden she falls. Like I was on my honeymoon and she fell and broke her kneecap and had to be rushed to the hospital, have surgery, and then she was in
That-
my bed.
That's an important. Oh, I wouldn't have allowed that to happen.
Yeah, like it was like a whole thing. So today, here it is. There's amazing things happening, and she's even doing well. Here we are walking in the sun, like everything's going well, and all of a sudden, here comes an episode. Like it's like, oh, oh, I, and and she fell, and it was like this slide fall, and she was having an episode, right? And of course, used to, I'd be like, oh God, here comes another stroke. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And I start freaking out. I did not at all. I just watched the whole thing, and I watched her do this, and then I sat down. I sat down on the ground in front of her, like across from her, and I was like, Mom, I'm just gonna call it out. You've done this my entire life. Things are happening that are amazing, and here we have another thing. So a health crisis that could be. So I'm gonna tell you, Mom, you're in the room, you're on the boat, you're coming with me. As I do really well, as we go up, it'd be like millions and millions of dollars. You're still with me. You get to have an outfit too. You get to come too. You should just be thinking about like what kind of house you want to live in, and like where you don't, instead of well, I guess you're going to live the life you always wanted and nobody's, instead of going into that even thought process, whether you're sharing it or not, but it's showing up in, oh, nobody loves me.
Yeah.
I was like, it's done right now today. It's done. You're coming with me.
Say?
She heard me, and she sat there, and it was one of those moments where it could go this way or it could go this way. And she sat and she heard me, and she's like, and she did exactly what my grandma does my whole life. She does throws a non sequitur. Like, well, those trees look like they're dead. Like it's like like I have a biscuit, or like there's a bunny. Like it's a total. That's my whole family too. Like, and so she did that, and we laughed. And then I was like, I sat there, I was just calm and just present, and I was like, did you hear me? What I said? And I want to know like what you heard. And she goes, I didn't realize I did that. And I'm like, well, you did do that, and now we're not going to do that anymore. So what do you want to do? And she goes, well, I guess I'm going to get up.
It's so like.
So I was like,
the truth has a resonance, right? So like when someone is presented with truth that is not arguable, they absorb it and they take and it's.
She took it, and then it was different. Like her face was different after. I took some pictures of us. I was like, I gotta document this moment in the world. And the craziest thing is we had a live that would not work. Like there's 5 other people that were coming on, they couldn't get on. It was like our live was late because it was like the stupid techie thing or whatever. Your mouse wouldn't work or whatever.
Yeah, my mouse wouldn't work tonight.
But here I was like, and they couldn't get on. So David couldn't get on today, but it ended up being like perfect. Because the whole thing was recorded. I have it all on recording of just this whole process. And it wasn't mean about it at all. I just was like, truth. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's going to stop. I really do. I think she heard me and she changed. Yeah. And then
well, the thing that I think that she probably saw is that it didn't get a big reaction out of you.
Right.
Because now you're not going into that stressed state where her stress state can push you to do things. So it's like, it's kind of like once.
That was amazing.
It's like once you figure out anybody's game and then you don't play it, then they're like, if that's the only game they have, then they just have to acquiesce. Now, a lot of people will try to come up with another game, but you gotta let them know you're not playing games. You're intentional about doing what you're doing, and the gameplay won't work. It's an important thing to know. Like a lot of people have friends, that drag them down, right? That's the same thing, and it's all out of fear. They love you, so they don't want to lose you. They just want to put you in a little box, a little purse, and carry you with them.
So they don't want to say something like this upsets me or something, or put a hard line. Is that what you mean? Because you don't want to lose the friendship. Is that why?
Yeah, the people like your mom, what she did, and then friends, intimate partners, family. A lot they throw sticks in your spokes because they're not doing the things to that they need to be doing for their purpose. So when they
Yep.
see someone else doing their purpose, it highlights how they're not. So then they want to throw sticks in your
Oh
spokes so
yeah.
that you're
I
not as
got
well.
one of those. I got
And
one of those.
or they don't want to lose you because they want to just put you in a box or a purse and carry you with them, and
Right?
know that you'll always be there, and
David
and
says, yeah, there's a great book called Relationship Breakthrough by Chloe Manhans. Mayhans.
Chloe Manhattan's
Chloe that talks
Chloe
about that. People do
Manhattan's.
that subconsciously. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
subconsciously, consciously, unconsciously to keep the
Well,
status quo or manipulate those around them.
right,
Yeah.
because as soon as they have a fear that they're losing you, they're not even conscious anymore. They go into a program like collapsing and falling
Yeah.
and clutching
Or
your knee.
creating women who create like super drama and like fights. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's a perfect example. I mean,
My mom did that.
a lot of women, they want that constant pining, so they create a situation where the guy will have done something wrong, and then the guy has to like, baby, I'm sorry. They just want they
And the
want
guy,
that.
meanwhile, has no idea what you're talking about
Yeah,
because
or
he
it
was
was
working on his
something
bike or his phone
or it
was
was
charging
something
or something.
trivial. Yeah, exactly. Like
He's like,
you
I
didn't
wasn't
call
even
me
thinking about that.
you call me one time today. It's like, oh, well, maybe he's doing something. But the point,
Maybe what?
maybe I was doing something. No, the point is that it's loose. They want to grab spiritual energy from you. And if they're not in the constant state of pulling spiritual energy from you, and when I say spiritual energy, I mean loosh. I mean
Loosh. What's this word,
your
loosh?
your it's energy. Loosh, a lot of times used in a negative context, but it's just energy. So like if a mate of yours
I'm
or
doing what you did to me now. Sorry.
if a mate of yours or a friend of yours, is angry with you over something, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, and then you have to, they always constantly try to put you on your heels so that you have to make up for something.
Oh God.
It's a way of harnessing illusion. A lot of narcissists do that. They're not
There's
able
so
to, they're not able to generate their own feel-good feelings, so they need someone else to feel badly. But because someone else feels badly because they're unhappy with them, that person is trying to make them happy. That's what they feed on.
great.
Because they can't make themselves happy.
Right. So they're just creating issues.
Creating
Ah.
issues so that people are constantly feeding them spiritual energy or loosh so that they are happy.
Loosh.
But the
That's
problem
my
is
new word today. Loosh.
they've got a hole in their happiness collector and it's never enough for them.
That's a great line. You got a hole in your happiness collector.
Yeah, so they have to constantly find a new source to give them some kind of feeling, and they'll take negative or positive. They just need to harness that energy from somewhere else.
So another funny thing. Just
I'm
gonna
just
throw
saying,
you.
what your mom was doing is on the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
She was trying to harness some energy from you.
Oh, she's done it. She did it all during my movie, the golf movie. Like every single day, there was some drama that she was creating. It was like, oh my God. It was like that. It's just like a little little tantrums to get attention, and
Yeah.
you just need a spanking. But today it was amazing because I told her she was coming, like, get over it, like,
Yeah.
you're, and she heard me, I was like, oh, so now I'm reinforcing that. Like when I dropped her off, I was like, okay, so picture your house and your garden, and like we both can have a little assistant that we share among each other, like it's gonna fix your phone, gonna fix my phone. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Just picture your flowers and so it's nice. And so now,
And they'll clap and they will bring you pie.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God, my mother's sugar
More
addiction.
pie,
Oh my
please.
God, Sean. Oh my God. So I found these little sugar things. They're like healthy-ish. It doesn't have any of the red dyes in it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have any of the red, yellow, but it's these like little Asian candies that they're chewable. It's almost like what we used to have a Starburst
Mm.
without the
Yeah, the
color.
little pieces of plastic. That
Yes,
sweet.
little piece. Yeah. So that's like we're making steps to take all of it out of the house, and that's one of the ones that's still there. And my kids' like little tray that she's allowed to have, her little like munch tray. And so I turn around, hey y'all, Jean. I turn around. I'm on a live, right? I turn around, and my mother I kid you not. There's like 17 wrappers, and she's like you can't even those things are like takes like 20 minutes to chew one, but you're like you're obsessed.
Yeah,
She's
I was.
obsessed. Like
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom, what the hell? Are you possessed? And she's like, I can't stop. I can't stop. And I was like, Mom, and I took the bag, and she goes, I put some in my pocket. The sugar addiction is real.
oh my God, yeah, they're like I
It
know
is
some
real.
real junkies for sure.
I've taken her to birthday parties more than once. I'm not even lying. And she goes to the birthday cake and cuts herself a slice and stands there and is eating it. And I'm like, Mama, it ain't your birthday. Have they even sung yet? They ain't even sung. This is why you're not invited.
So she's cutting the cake before.
Yes, she's done that more
candles.
than once. More than once. It's like her. It's like
She's-
Rainin the senior.
Wow.
She goes there like she's
So when the
possessed.
sugar is out, she just goes.
It's like this.
To-
She's like
totally
possessed,
up.
like literally possessed person. And
Yeah.
she's standing there eating the cake, and it's everybody's looking at you like, that's not your cake. Number one, number two, they haven't even sang yet. Number three,
I'll never forget.
not
I
your
was,
birthday.
I was at a house party one time where there was like some drunks around.
Oh my God.
I don't know why this is pertinent, but it's a brief story. And I remember watching this woman like dipping her hand in this like dip. It had like cheese and beans. I wasn't eating.
Dipping
It
her
wasn't my
hand,
house.
like her
She was
hand.
dipping her
in?
hand, and I was like, okay.
That is bold.
Okay. She was drunk, but she was dipping her whole hand into the dip and just like, I was like, wow.
Jean says, my granny would say, oh, my soul.
Wow.
And David says, see if I can move her up to tamarind paste candies. Oh. And date candy. She likes dates. She does eat dates. We do do date
y'all,
things.
The
Dates are
date-
good.
The Ajwa, AJ,
The dates are good.
they're from Saudi Arabia. They are so delicious.
Really?
And yeah, they're so delicious, and they're kind of hard to eat because there's a seed
Pit.
inside of it,
Right.
pit inside of it, and they're very because they're grown in Saudi Arabia where there's no rain. They're not very moist. They're kind of tough to eat, but they taste delicious. It's like AJAW. Whole Foods has them. They're from Saudi Arabia.
You are the resource.
And then what you do is you take the pit out and put some butter in it.
Oh.
Delicious.
Like just a little slab of butter?
Yeah.
Do you heat it up, or you just eat a slab of butter with the date? Just a slab of butter. Hey, I like it. Okay. You got some ideas, boy.
That's really good.
Yeah. That was the big breakthrough with my mom today. That was amazing. That was
That is
some
amazing.
that was some truth.
But
That was
there's going to be more of that to come. But now, because now you're not being triggered. It's hard
Yeah.
for you to be triggered because you're regenerating, you're healthier, so you don't get triggered. So you're going to have more opportunities for this. And it's so great because, when you stay calm like that, and not, there's a person that's anchoring the whole room. You can move a whole room forward, a whole room's consciousness forward.
I could
Just
see
by
that.
not panicking.
Just by not panicking.
By not being triggered, by not panicking. Yeah, I mean, I had a funny interaction with a rider.
A rider on your bike
recent-
tour.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of riding, David, we're having a retreat August 9th, 10th, 11th in Nashville. Get your butt down there. Get your butt down there.
So
Anyway,
you wanna
okay, go.
get some rest?
Yeah, I do.
So in my ride, I may or may not say disparaging things about lawyers occasionally.
Lawyers. Yeah. You
Lord.
say a lot about a lot of people on your ride. It's very awesome. He's very funny. He has
Um,
this like,
so this guy yeah. Oh, it was funny. In my riders this week there were some riders because I try to be vague, so I would never um, give out anyone's personal information with any of my interactions. But this Yankee in the middle of my ride goes, I can't figure out if you're joking or if you're serious about all of this stuff that you're saying. And I'm like, exactly. Exactly.
my favorite is the Scientology sludge. When you drive by it, there's always
Yeah.
the green sludge, and you're
Yeah,
like, watch
yeah.
out for the Scientology sludge.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
forget
funny.
exactly what I say, but yeah, it's funny. I mixed it up a little bit. So I'm just disparaging lawyers, and then this guy is like, "Well, I'm a lawyer and I love it," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're a lawyer, you love it," and he's like, "Well, I'm a judge now," and I'm like, "Well, see, he's no longer a lawyer. He didn't love it. If you loved it, you would still be a lawyer. You got out of it because just like all my friends that are lawyers, they hate it. They're constantly changing jobs or." And then he's like, "Well, I loved it when I was a lawyer," but I'm like, "But you're not a lawyer anymore," which means you didn't really love it because you're a judge now. And he's like mulling this over, and then I'm like, "What kind of law?" And then he's like, "Criminal," and I'm like, "Oh, that's my buddies. I have a bunch of buddies that have done that, and they say that that's the worst." And he's like, "Well, I loved it," and I go, "I think what was the problem for them was the whole morality issue of having to deal with people that actually did serious crimes, and they have to figure out a way to get them off." And then, this is in front of a group.
And he was like,
Nothing to say. Because it was bingo. He loved it because he doesn't mind that. He was lacking morals, since he's probably a terrible judge, but a great lawyer. He probably made a lot of money doing it.
oh my God.
But it was just like he had nothing to say. It was end of conversation because
That's
of that.
it. And then we're done.
Yeah.
When it comes to morals, that's funny.
Yeah.
Poor
I didn't say
lawyers.
that he had questionable morals. He did by not saying anything further.
You could question my lawyer's morals because he's on my spicy side.
No, yeah. I think you do too.
I'm like,
You don't
this
need-
means
you
that
don't-
I get
You don't need to do all of that because
it means that I get free legal advice forever. It's awesome.
yeah.
No, I have my whole
Oh.
book being put on there. I'm excited about it. I do like chapters of my book on there about sacred dick medicine. That's what I'm doing. I just tricked the boys. Oops. Did it.
Okay.
Oops. I did it again. I slept with
So,
my
okay.
dad
So because it's True
more than
Thursdays.
just friends. Sorry.
Wait, you say what?
Did you hear me? So
Yeah.
Mackenzie Phillips? You know the actress Mackenzie Phillips from One Day at a
Maybe.
Time?
I think I heard
Like
that.
One Day at a Time. Or no, I forget which TV show she was on. But she was being abused by her dad, but it went into her 20s. Like it became like a thing. Yeah, I know. And she wrote a whole book about it. And she and I did an event where we were like award honorees, and we got to hang out with this little section. We were the survivor celebrities, and we were hanging out at the mall. This one, we were going shopping for something. She got her stylist with her. It was really funny. Anyway, I was going to this escalator with her, and I just started going, "Oops, I did it again. I slept with my dad. We're more than just friends." And she literally peed herself laughing. And she goes, "Oh my God, you've lost your mind. You were so funny. I love it." I was like, there's another verse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was funny because like it's survivor jokes. I mean, nobody else is going to think that's funny. That's what I have a shirt that says incest survivors are better in bed. Ask me why. It's not good. It's not a good
I don't
because you
know.
were trained.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then an incest
Yeah. No,
survivor.
that's like
I mean,
like
that's not a good thing, but I mean, it's still true.
A woman, or you're with a woman for the first time, however you want to call it, and like she's just really good at everything. You're like,
Daddy taught you well.
Well, no, it's not. Well,
Sorry.
I didn't think of it like that, but
I mean,
somebody taught somebody
it just
some
comes
of
out
these
of my
things
mouth.
because that's not all like some advanced moves here.
That's some advanced, exactly, advanced knowledge. I know.
Yeah.
So that's a
Okay.
joke,
I mean, I get what you're
a
saying. I
jokey
get
that
what
I tell. You know,
you're
I
saying.
can only tell those jokes in like certain territory.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
women, oh my God, Sean.
Like on 8 different streams on Truth Thursday.
Oops. So Sean, the women, the women, the women, the women, the women. To me, when I start talking about healthy sex, it
Hmm.
is the women. It's the women who are like, ah, ugh,
And what does that mean?
just like don't talk. You're making me uncomfortable. And all the women that have issues with me, like talking about healthy sex, I 5,000% say they need to get. I'm like, you need some. That's what I'm gonna say right now.
I think
I'm just gonna
that
say it. I'm just gonna say it out loud.
I
But
think somebody needs, you know what I think a topic somebody needs to talk about? Like nobody talks about this in woman world. Like in
well,
guy world,
except
like
me,
if you're not healthy, you can't get it up, right?
right?
But in woman world, if you're not healthy and you don't have blood flow down there, you're not going to have the same feelings down there as a woman who is healthy and has good blood flow down there. So if you're
It's true.
making bad food decisions, bad lifestyle decisions, you're not going to have the same feeling down there. So and then I think one of the things to be human is to have experiences that are, where energy is coupled together.
Yeah,
And if you're not healthy enough down there, and nobody talks about that for a woman, that you have to have, there needs to be blood flow down there.
I like candy.
It's
Uh,
just, you know, there's no. I mean, there's no, I just don't think that's in our
wait
culture
until
that there
you.
is a problem. That there can be a problem down there
Oh yeah.
with blood
So
flow.
wait until you see my new emails. So if you sign up for iloveangelashelton.com, y'all do it. iloveangelashelton.com. I'm taking you down a journey to fall down the rabbit hole of getting to know me, which means getting to know you thyself. So I
Mm.
have her, and
We are all
I
nerds.
do. I got her, and I got her. I got
Who's her?
amazing this author that wrote the sexual practices of the Kwadoshka.
Mm.
This is what I use in my spicy side.
Mm.
Like I'm teaching her book essentially, to giving tips, and then also her. This is Sherry Winston, who wrote The Women's Anatomy of Arousal. This book is amazing. My mom has like 17 million copies of it. She's like, "Did I give you a copy?" And she's already given me 5 copies.
Mm.
My mother, like this, she's like, "When I was with Luigi, this is what we used as our foreplay."
Mm. Mm.
And it's like reading about what you just said. Like a lot of women actually don't know their parts.
I think the thing that I was trying to call awareness is to lack of blood flow from too much caffeine, too much Adderall, too much
Oh,
sugar.
well, then there's
So,
that.
so then even if you're it's kind of like an impotent man. There's
Right.
impotent women, but there's nothing. It's not. It's not like as obvious as an impotent man, but there's impotent women out there too.
That are just. I've talked to some women that don't. They're like, I don't have a O.
Right,
I've never had one. And you're like,
right, and
what the hell?
perhaps one of the reasons is because their organism is not healthy enough to achieve it.
Right. I had a friend of mine I was living with in Paris that she was, you know, how she was older than me too. So she was in her like mid 20s,
Hmm.
and had never had a O. I was
Hmm.
married for already like 2 years or whatever. And I was like, describe for me what you do with this husband. Tell me everything. And it was just a lot of like positions. It sounded like somebody who watched a lot of corn. The dude who just like moves to lots of like, then we do this and then we do this and then we move around this. And this is like like you got your little set, like you did your set.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with connecting or actually like nothing at all. So basically you're making a corn video.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's doing. And she'd never done, and I've never had, oh, so I taught her how to play the guitar. And then I'm like, I'll leave, I'll see you later. And then I taught her how to play with the mouth parts. This, and then she started seeing other men. She left her husband. I know maybe I had something to do with that. And then she started seeing other men, and it became a rotating thing in this apartment that I lived with her in Paris. And they would always come out and be like, "Oh, you're Angela. Hey," because I taught her how to do
Because she's like,
everything.
oh, my friend Angela showed me this. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. And she was just so dumb. She was like one of these like super dumb models. God, I loved her, but she was like super dumb. And she would just like tell. And then these dudes would be like, "Oh, you're Angela."
How you doing?
How you doing? I was like, "Well, I'm just a teacher." It was really funny. Poor
You're doing
thing.
God's work, Angela.
I am doing
You're
God's
doing
work.
God's work. That's for
BBC
sure.
is probably my favorite God's work. That's my favorite one. It's a good one. The BBC story. That guy who's like, "You like BBC?" And I'm like, "Barbecue? Hell yeah! I'm from North Carolina. I like North Carolina,
Yeah.
Texas mixed together." And he's like,
And he was offering
"No,
you his
BBC. No, well, he was like," and I was like, "British Broadcasting Company? Is that what?" He's like, "No, Big Black." And I was like, "Oh, what are you asking me?" He's like, "Do you like it?" And I'm like, I don't
And was he
really.
offering his, or was he one of these
No,
sickos that wanted to watch you?
he wanted me. He wanted to watch me on his best friend's BBC.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Right,
We
and I was
had
and
that
I was
story
like, I told you that
live.
story.
Yeah.
That story is so funny. And he
What the
and I was
hell?
like, "Honey, let me tell you something. I appreciate
Look,
you telling me that. But what
Pete,
I think is that maybe you want to do that to your best friend's BBC. Is that more aligned with the truth?" And he's like, "I've never told anybody, but I feel like I can tell you everything because everybody can tell me everything. And you know what I do?" And I was like, "Well,
you
life is
go
short,
ahead and
buddy.
get that BBC, buddy.
Here's what you can say to your friend." And I gave him a whole a scenario and when to say and like what to say, and he did it. And then a week, no, it was about a month later, he contacted me. He's like, "It worked, and they're a couple now. Yep, just doing God's work out there."
Mm.
BBC. The
Yeah.
SPH stuff is something that blows my mind, though. I just got another whole bunch of those hitting me up. And you asked me why? Why do these hit you up? Because I'm everywhere. Because I'm on all the platforms. I'm everywhere. I'm available to ask me questions or tell me anything. I'm just a safe zone for men because men have zilcho, nobody. And so I've stepped out to be like, "Hey, if you ever want to talk, ask me anything, share, I'm here." And so there are a lot of men who have this desire to be completely humiliated, including kept in like little cages, like their little thing kept in little cages, which
That's
I'm
weird.
I'm like, dear Jesus, can we?
I mean,
I mean, what? And that they want you to like
I just think that
rule them.
I think that corn is too readily available.
I
There's
mean it.
cornfields everywhere.
Speaking of corn, what's
There's
that?
cornfields everywhere.
There's cornfields everywhere.
It's free, and it's
Yeah,
all
it's
over
free.
the
It's everywhere.
all over the internet. And then like
Oh, that's a fuzzball.
it's people don't understand exactly how detrimental it is.
Corn? So I shouldn't be
Yeah.
watching corn?
No.
Okay.
Reevaluate my life. Well, no, because
I
what
am.
it is,
Go ahead.
I just think what it is you're releasing spiritual energy
True.
without any connection, without any chance of connection, and it's just a drain. And then they're getting into like wanting to be locked in a cage.
It's so messed up. So tell me about retention, because you do it too. And a lot of the guys I've talked to about that, I have their bodies and minds and their spirits on, and that they're retenting. Talk to me about that. What do you do?
I think that I don't think of it as that, but maybe that is what I do. But it's just I don't want to yank my crank because it's not really it's not satisfying in any way. Like if you're connecting with a woman and you can, feel the electricity coming out of her, and you can feel um, two bodies working together to
That's
both make
hot.
each other feel better, and then the energy comes up.
Literally.
And once you have that where the energy is rising, it's like, what does
Just a
playing with
jerk.
the Peter do? You know what I mean? It's
So you
like
don't need
not.
the quick fix. You're not just
Well, yeah,
getting like,
well,
ugh,
well, and I can
ugh,
self. Well, I know a lot of
ugh.
people use that to self-soothe because they can't calm themselves down. Because
Right?
I think it's a lot of mineral deficient people. Because as I get more and more onto, really focusing on how much minerals
Minerals.
per calorie I can ingest. Meaning
Got
just
them in
every
here.
calorie, everything that I put into my body has a lot of micronutrients. The raw dairy, fruit, steak,
Yeah,
ground
that's what
beef,
I'm on too.
organ meats. When you're on all that stuff, you're getting micronutrients in all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just feel very settled. I don't feel unsettled. And I think a lot of people do that to
Wow.
get to the point of feeling settled.
You're totally right.
So I don't need to feel settled. So then it's like if I'm already settled, why would I want to do that and have like a tiny release or not release isn't the right word, but whatever it is, it's like why not just wait until you know to have a shot of to try to connect with a woman,
So it's like when they're unsettled, because those are the dudes that are like, it's like 5 times a day. Just like
So yeah, they're using it. Women do it too.
oh, I
Women,
know.
a lot of women are like
That's how I got
constantly
my fat lip.
because were you doing some training?
I was doing some training, yeah. I was doing
Okay.
some training this way. And yeah, I fell. I fell flat on my face with my hands in my pants. Yeah, that's how I get my
Oh, you were working on yourself. Got it.
dumb. It's the dumb,
Yeah,
the dumb train winner
both
today.
hands in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, so
all make mistakes.
it's just not a. It's just not. It's just
It's
not.
time consuming also. It's a lot takes a lot of time.
Sure. Yeah.
What did you imitate Trump when he did that? Because Trump's like doesn't do it either, and he's like, oh, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Waste of
Somebody asked him if he masturbated, and he's like, I think he said, try it 2 times. It's a waste of time.
waste of time.
Did it twice. Did it twice. I was the best ever at it. It's a waste of time. Yeah.
Oh
But
God.
I have to say I agree. It is a waste of time because it's not anywhere near when you're with another human, another woman. They're both united in a common goal to make each other feel good.
Same.
But I think a lot of women and a lot of men don't give a shit about the person that they're with. So which is sad, but that doesn't work. You have to actually, I'm not
We
saying
care
it has
about
to be,
them.
yeah, you have to actually be,
Imagine.
it's like dating somebody who never gives you a massage. Like if they never, you know,
I do that all the time.
give a massage,
Yeah, but I don't get it.
you don't get it in return.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
I'm not surprised because you're out here doing God's work too. You love people, so then when you're having an intimate partner, you would do things like that. I would imagine.
oh yeah, I'm super giving.
Right. So so both people have to be giving both people, and then the energy just builds. And I just think once you've had that, and once you figure that, and of course, the organism has to be healthy. on both parties. Otherwise, it's not going to work too. So it's
Yeah, gosh
hard
darn it.
out
It's
there.
a real bummer with the dudes who've gotten shot up.
Oh yeah, is that you've really noticed that that has affected them?
They are not as healthy as dudes who did not get shot up. It's just an observation. I could be wrong. We need my sister on here. We need to have us talk with my sister. In fact, damn it, I wish I could do it right now.
Well, you're talking your cousin. I'm thinking your cousins. So
My cousins are all the hot ones with the guns and the arrows, and they're the survivalists. And then my sister is the one that hates men. She's moving to a cabin. She doesn't want nothing to do with humans. She's
hmm.
like, and I always say like, if I date ever, I should like,
Did she go through a lesbian phase?
no, she has like a best friend that they coulda, shoulda, woulda been, but she likes men. She's done with them. And to listen to her talk is so funny, so funny. But she answers phones for a variety of WalMarts,
Hmm.
the eyeglass companies in the Walmart. So I think there's like 11 that she answers the phones for, and it's like a real pain in the ass. And
Hmm.
she can tell you, she says since the shooter, the Hubajiba Kubajiga, um, she has noticed an uptick in people's anger and frustration and quick to anger, and she can tell you who got it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I
no way. And she goes, yeah, it does something to your brain.
there,
It's like the heightened anger and frustration is like here.
and I think less attention span.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the
But
names that she comes across are so funny. I was like, you should do a TikTok. You should do a TikTok and just tell the names that come in. They're just so hilarious.
and then she just wants to be in the woods. You said, and so that's great. That's a great job for her doing customer service from anywhere.
Yeah, it's too much because she runs too many stores. But the stories that she has are crazy. One, get this one. How about this one? Just like newsworthy. Tap tap. Got some news for you right here. So
What?
they are letting all of the immigrants or anybody illegal come in. They can take all appointments. They get free glasses, free eye exam for the whole family. And so she's taking these phone calls from the little kids because nobody
Hmm.
speaks English. So it's like the little 8-year-old is booking appointments for like 12 people. And so they take up the whole day, and so everything's booked. And then when the company that it's like it's a small business who's renting space from Walmart's, when they give the invoice to say pay for all the immigrants, the government agencies aren't paying it. So they're going out of business and having trouble. They're scrambling on what to do because their spaces are filled, the appointments are filled, but then they're not being paid.
Hmm.
That's messed up. And so a lot of them are stopping all. They're just not taking the insurance at all. And then you can't get an appointment. Just like my friends who run houses, like rental houses, they're like the special either low income or special needs or whatever. They're getting calls saying, "Hey, there's a bus coming in from Chicago. Put everybody in from the immigrants." And they're like, "No, we have a wait list already." And they're like, "Nope, get rid of your wait list. Put these buses in." So that's like what's happening on the ground with people that are like, and I tell this to somebody that like believes CNN and MSNBC, and she's like, "That's not happening." And I was like, "My sister, this is what she does. This is what she does." Like,
And it's been planned for a long time because that's why BlackRock has bought up all of the single-family homes that they can,
oh my
because they're
god,
allowed to put 2 immigrants per room. So if you have a 4-bedroom house, that's
oh
eight
my
immigrants.
god.
So they're making like 15 grand a month housing immigrants in homes.
But who's paying for it? Because they're not paying the small business bills.
Well, no, but I'm talking about BlackRock. They buy the house, for 400 grand, 500 grand, 600 grand, whatever. They're buying up, affordable houses like starter homes that a lot of people would buy if they were not being priced out by
Right.
BlackRock buying them all up. And then they put the immigrants in them, and then they get paid 15 grand a month because they can stash like 8 immigrants in a 4-bedroom house.
And then and then what companies are paying all this? What's paying the ten
The
thousand
government,
dollars on the cards and the 3,000?
the government, people are under the illusion that we pay tax and then the government takes our tax money and then spends that everywhere. No. What the government does is creates money in the form of a loan, and anytime they need money. And then our taxes pay back the interest on those loans. So that's why the deficit keeps going up higher all the
Right,
time.
right, right. Because you're just
Because
making
they
up more.
print more money, and then the tax money just pays back the interest.
So it's all fake.
It's all fake. And then the banks own more and more and more and more and more because we just pay back the interest. So then the people own less and less and less of their own land in their own country. And then historically, what would happen in the past is like after 100, 200 years, the king would be like, hey,
Get out.
all you bankers, get out. And then it would be a big reset of the land. And then, people
Yeah.
would thrive again.
David says, "Yep, I was just about to mention it. New York is paying it to house them. They're doing the same with some of the hotels. Yeah, the hotels across the street from where I lived in New York is full, completely full. And it's like, what the hell? And it's like $400 a night or something crazy. I'm like, it's like so blatantly bad. But I'm like fascinated by people who don't see it. But I'm like, okay, well, I guess you just don't see nothing. But hey, don't freak out about it. Don't freak. You got to just stay healthy and like body, mind, spirit. That's what I've been focused on. Like I can't. There's nothing I can do except be aware
Yeah, I mean,
and
I just
safe
think
and smart and
so
healthy.
niche as possible. That's one of the reasons why I do the bikes. It's like it's just very hard to do, so nobody's going to take that. The regenerate stuff's not easy. The loot stuff's not easy. So, people that are trying to be a cog in the machine, they can make a lot of cogs.
They can make a lot of cogs. Yeah, it's like wow. But I just love them up. I love them up. But the people that yeah, I don't even that believe the lies so much that I just can't even. I'm just like, wow, that I just love you, and I'm not even gonna bother getting into the discussion. I'm just like, I love you.
And
What are
well,
you
since
gonna
we're
do?
doing Truth Thursday and we haven't done much truth, let's talk a couple truths.
Do it, lay it out.
Um,
You got 5 minutes.
so okay,
Just kidding.
2020, the last time there was an election, we had the Summer of Love, where all the cities were set on fire. Because
Because of the black box day.
yeah, because
Right, right.
you know, and so now it looks like we have another Summer of Love coming. Where it's
What's happening?
but it's so funny. No, it's the Palestine Jewish thing, right?
Oh, with all
But
the
it's so
college
funny.
campuses. Yep.
Right. I don't understand how this is going to play out. It's almost like the people that have designed this haven't thought this all the way through, because it's like pitting the own group of people against each other.
It's
You
weird. It
understand?
doesn't make any, yeah, it doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
It doesn't make any sense unless your goal is just for chaos,
Right.
which makes
Which
sense
is.
if they just want chaos. So that's my guess, is that they're just trying to piss everybody off right now and trying to light. And then Obama was involved in the production of that movie that is glorifying
Oh, I know.
civil war. So it's like, okay, I get it. I see. They just want everybody at each other's throats because the poor blacks and the poor whites are starting to figure out that they have a lot in common.
They're friends.
Right. They love the same music, the
They're
same
friends.
everything. But now enough. It's like, but there. So that division isn't work. The men-woman divide, I think, is still working well for
Oh
the
yeah.
people in power. But they need more division. But then they divided their own party, because a lot of the Palestinian people supporters and a lot of the Jewish big supporters are both on the blue team generally.
Right. So they're just the blue teams like just battling each other.
Right, so it's just really dumb. It's like they must really be confident in how much they control big swaths of people. Like,
They
I
do.
remember there was somebody said that Taylor Swift will sway the vote 15% because whoever she comes out for, all the Swifties will follow.
Right.
So like, okay,
Because nobody thinks for themselves.
right, and then in 2020 they more than doubled mail-in votes, and then surprise, not all of those were legit. Isn't that unbelievable? Oh my goodness. Some votes.
There's no voter fraud. I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's
There's
the
no
people that are
boomer.
like, there's zero. There's absolutely zero. It's like, really, there's zero. Like, zero? Okay, sure, buddy. You know, it's like, right. Um, so they must be, I just think they're really confident in how they'd have to be really confident in how much they can cheat
Yep.
to have the cojones to divide their own party, unless they didn't think it was going to divide their party. But I don't understand how they couldn't. But then the other thing is, it is important to remember that the people that run the stuff behind the scenes are also very drunk.
and
So,
hurting kids.
well, right, but when you're very drunk all the time, you make bad decisions. So that's so it's like, okay, maybe that explains why they're dividing their own party. Because
They're
they think
drunk and
about it.
dumb.
They just wanted chaos, and then that chaos brings to the dividing the party. So it's an interesting thing. And then the 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 moon stuff is just
Is that your true stuff? The moon.
Rogan just came out with a new moon um, thing
New moon. Oh, new
where
moon.
he brought on a
Awareness.
guy that wrote books about how the moon landing is fake. And I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. I'm saying that no human has been on the moon. And I am saying that all of those videos are fake. And anyone who watches those today and thinks that those
The
are
Stanley
legitimate,
Kubrick movie.
yeah, the
It is
Stanley
weird when you're like, how did they get the camera there? How did they get the shot? And
How
if
did
you're
they?
taking away, like, how did you get the camera
Yeah.
footage?
But you know what they say? They say someone in NASA HQ on the ground of the Earth controlled the panning of the camera.
Oh, that's amazing that we can't even do the 15 feet from across the room.
We know
And
that
it glitches and it doesn't
Elon
work, you know?
Musk,
Like, okay.
Elon Musk says that for his biggest rocket to get to the moon, it would require 4 refuels. So in 1968, though, we could just.
Totally do that.
And then the other thing is the very first time that it worked, like the very first airplane didn't fly. The very, Elon blew up a bunch of rockets before he got some to work. He was almost out of business. He was like, if this rocket doesn't work, we're done. And then the last rocket worked. So it's just amazing that the first try.
Yeah, and then
Every
how did the tin can get through the
Van
whatever
Allen,
belt
right? Because
and not like
according to scientists, the only thing that can make it through the Van Allen belt is fungus. Fungi.
so we're going to be putting a train on the moon soon, supposedly.
Yeah, they constantly have a 15-year plan. Like every president is like, within 15 years, we're gonna get to the moon. Because it's just gonna take 15
What's
years.
the big deal? Why go to the? I don't understand. I do like space exploration to find out about all the other aliens that are here or something. What are your
Oh,
stances on aliens? What do you think about aliens?
I think that the aliens that we see in these crafts are coming from the ocean. I would rather spend money investigating the ocean than investigating space. Because can't, life as we know it here in this realm can't make it through the Van Allen belt. It's too much radiation. The only thing that the scientists say that can get through there is fungus.
Fungus. That's like these movies. Did you see The Last of Us or something? That the fungus takes over the bodies, and you're like, ew, that's like you.
That totally makes sense to me, and I think part of the thing of sick organism is a lot of them have pathogenic fungus infections, like candida.
It affects just your everything is affected by your fungus.
There's fungus.
Oh my God, my mom one thing I beautifully love about my mother is these one-liner zingers that she throws at you. Oh my God, it's just so funny. I think I'm gonna have to just start going live when I'm with her. I just like press live just to grab every moment.
Isn't that how you got kicked off of
So
TikTok?
I know I did because we were at the cemetery and she's like, "Oh, I got some flowers the other day." I'm like, "What do you mean you got some flowers?" She's like, "Oh, with off the new grave site. What was done? They were over." So she just like radically took flowers from the bed.
She took flowers from from what? A
Oh
funeral?
God, yeah, a few. She didn't take the whole. She just got a few of them, and then we got banned because of hate speech. Somebody was like, "That's hateful speech." Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we were in the car the other day, and she goes, "There is something I need to tell you. I think it is very important." I look at her, I
And what
look
she
at her,
said.
and she goes, she just took a deep breath. She goes, "I think I have parasites." I just
Oh
can't
my god.
even.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, Mom, absolutely you do. Like
Yeah.
5,000% yes. So get to it.
It's so funny how like
Kill the.
the alliopaths have
I think
convinced
I have.
everybody in America that like there's no parasites here, but everywhere else in the world there's parasites. So you need to get like 5,000 shots if you're going to go to Africa or wherever. But here there's none. We're fine.
There's not right.
We've poisoned
Another
everything.
another funny thing that happened the other day is I have this little mom car, and I don't know, it's short in the front, and I am not always good at pulling it all the way up into a parking space. Like I'm here, because I didn't see that, and I parked, and I was still, my butt's still in there, and I parked, and the guy that had pulled in next to me, my mom got out of the car, so she heard the whole thing, and he goes, "Hey, you might want to pull up a little bit because you're way far from the line." I was like, "Oh yeah, oh thanks." And he goes, "I understand. I got the same problem." I was like, "Oh, you think that you're longer than you really are?"
Hey, whoa, what did he say?
My mom laughed like for the rest of the day on
Well,
that.
how did he take
And
it then?
he goes, "Oh,
Hey,
oh."
yeah. Yeah.
This is so funny.
Oh my
My
goodness.
thought that is, oh, David says, my thought is that aliens are actually spiritual entities. Last of Us was based on the cordyceps mushrooms that infest
Yeah,
ants to make them climb up, then
correct.
die. Ugh.
I'm with you, David. Yeah,
Then
because
climb high up, then die.
cordyceps, which I recommend because I think it works great.
I got some.
Yeah,
I follow what you do to
cordyceps in
the
the natural
baby
realm
steps.
takes over um, some bugs and remote controls their brain, and then eventually explodes their head open and kills them. But they like drive the bugs like a car, like wherever the cordyceps wants to go, they just use the bug.
Yeah, okay, that was a good idea then,
So
David. So that's
basically,
what they
what I'm
Last of
saying
Us.
is that if you're loaded up with candida and a lot of parasitic
And
fungus,
sugar.
right?
Sugar?
No, that's exactly right. They will make you crave sugar.
Oh, right. So you
So,
gotta
so
battle the
more than
parasites.
likely, your mom has a candida infection.
David says, interesting idea that they are from the oceans. It's interesting because the Bible describes all the spiritual entities are coming from waters, but it's often translated
The
differently.
the aliens are in the ocean. I mean, there's been the if you want to get really old, the best way to do it is to get really cold. In the bottom of the ocean, it's really cold. Things can live longer if they're adapted to cold. So there's old things in the ocean. And we know less about the ocean than we do space. They're in the ocean. And yeah, I agree there is a spiritual component to it as well.
Weird. Do we?
Well,
But
and
hey,
then you got
I
like
like all
the
these
sightings.
conversations.
You have the sightings of the crafts going into the ocean at top speed without slowing down. The tic-toc or the toc-tic, whatever they call it. Tic-tac
Ticker
sighting.
tocker.
The tic-tac
Oh
sighting just
God,
goes
all the ticker
straight into
talkers
the ocean.
and the Facebookers and all the oh geez, it's like I look forward to just handing this over. Here,
I hear you.
take it. I'm going on a bike ride. That's
I just
all.
like to put things out there and then not look at what happens to it.
Kinda, yeah. Because otherwise, like the people that also are this are also this.
Yeah, they need constant dopamine.
Is that what it is? When they are doing a text
Well,
novella in all
they're
caps?
I just think the people that are constantly on food and constantly on social media, they need a constant fix of dopamine because they're unsettled. And they're
Oh.
unsettled because they're either deficient in minerals or deficient in movement. So they just constantly need input that will
I'm
uh,
gonna.
give them dopamine.
I gotta do. I'm. Yep. Gotta go do mom.
Yeah, do some things.
I gotta do mom
That's
things.
a
One
good
one thing
enough.
I will leave you with is I found a yoga guy,
Hmm.
and oh my gosh, this was his note to me, because to breathing and all, because we started talking about the women who teach yoga who have glottal throat. Oh my god, really?
I don't know, just
And I
a
was like, I
little
just
like
can't do yoga. I just
it's just so
can't.
difficult. Just so you
I
know,
just
I'm gonna
can't.
finish
Like,
every sentence with an upturn. So
It's,
that
yeah, we
you
talked. It
might
was awesome,
know that
and he,
whatever everyone believes in, I believe in.
yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. And so anyway, those guys, and he was agreeing with me and laughing. We had a good laugh about it. And he was like, the actual he has a totally different focus. That's like real yoga, not modern yoga. And
We've
anyway,
talked about that.
he gave me a great tip. He was like, just see if your your bones, your pelvic bones, like your your parts bones, if you just move from one to the other, like just feel them one to the other, and then if you just relax your jaw and go like you're gonna kiss somebody, like you're like want to, and you make saliva, so like you're gonna taste something delicious or kiss something, and then just move those two bones back and forth. He's
Hmm.
like, you just he it was awesome. He took me through it, and he's like, you weren't thinking about your breathing, right? So he's like, when you do those two things, you just it helps get you into that state, the parasympathetic state. I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, see, it always goes back to boning. Always go back to the bones.
Yeah, we're yeah.
And I kiss him.
One big swallowing device. Human.
I'm like, look, Angela can't talk about that. I am so like, I'm so excited to finally talk about this. I started writing my actual show. Like I have it like since 2000. Been
Hmm.
working on it literally since 2000.
That's a
Whoops.
long time. That's like
Yeah, just diddling
25
at
years.
it and diddling at it and diddling and diddling and diddling and dabbing and doing parts and doing, parts and farts. And now I'm actually like writing it. So it's exciting. And I was talking about healthy sex, which is also the spiritual conversation.
Hmm.
Maybe I should go get in the water, talk to the aliens about it.
Or there you go, and it is a parasympathetic thing too because you can't connect unless you're in a parasympathetic state. So
Yeah.
you just had Starbase.
Oh my God, I do. Okay, I am doing the coffee and butter. I'm doing the coffee and butter, but I'm doing the regenerate. I got minerals in my water. My water never tastes like water anymore.
Yeah, not plain water, whatever you do.
Never plain water. I've got all kinds of minerals. I'm mineraling it up. And I had a fatty steak ribeye for dinner.
I need that.
And there's nothing like a fatty ribeye. I still am chocolate. I still am eating uh, coffee. I still,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Any truths you have before we sign off the
truth
internet?
is the only way to change the world completely and totally instantly. It would be like change the world instantly. Stop raping kids. Go
That's a big
fuck
one.
yourself. That's my truth.
That's a big one.
That would really that's the truth right there. That would just fix so many things.
Making kids go through life turning into adults that
Yeah.
can never settle, that can
It
never
would
calm
just
down, that are always in a state of panic.
it would just fix so many things, really would.
Yeah.
So I'm working on helping people elevate their sex lives with themselves and each other, their body and mind, spirit, and so then we get it from a different angle. Just get it from a different angle. Speaking of kids, I want to go play with mine.
All right.
Mine who's top
Okay.
archery. She's so good. She got a 50 today.
50 out of 50.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's all of them right in that little.
That's great.
I know.
That's so many things coming together to do that.
It's so good. Her posture, everything. She's great. She's awesome. She kicks my ass though. She put me in a bucket today and rolled me down a hill, and I crashed into the side of a building. So I mean, this is the kind of shit I had to do. This is the one that plays hard. The fun mom who has to also.
Elder abuse.
It is elder abuse. It is. I'm like, Jesus, that was not fun. She just goes blink.
You don't have to say yes to everything your kid tells you.
I am learning that. I'm learning that. I'm like, listen,
Too much.
boundaries. Don't hurt your mother, please.
Yeah, and then All Regenerate's going out, because I know we're about to jump out Monday. If anyone has not received theirs, it will go out Monday.
Sweet.
And then I'll talk to you soon.
I'm excited about our retreat. Look, I got my yoga straps on too.
Those really help, don't they?
These are the best. These are helped me so much. And also, because I think a lot of women have this where you feel uncomfortable fully standing up straight. Or it's just not sticking your boobs up, but just straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
People
straight
feel like,
is kind of boobs out.
yeah, it is. Yeah. And I think women feel uncomfortable or looked at or like you're asking for it. And so you're like, you want to hide. But I'm like, it feels that is almost like
But then the women they want to look like stand like that for all of the photos.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Just my grandmother used to beat us. She'd be like, stand up straight.
Yeah, exactly.
So she'd be proud of these little things.
Yeah.
These could also be used other ways, like a handle. Just saying.
Who doesn't want a handle? You put a handle on anything, it's better. Yeah. And that's perfect. All right.
All right, bye. Get a handle on her. Get a handle.
Get a handle on it, that one.
Oh,
I'll see it Thursday.
I'm going to get in the water.
I'm hearing a big bang, so
I'm going to go get in the water. Find aliens.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, that's where they are. I promise.
Okay, bye.
All right, see you.